I saw the pilot episode of APBB, and it was a decent pilot episode. There's Gideon Reeves. He is the owner and brilliant creator of Reeves. Gideon Reeves. He is the owner and brilliant creator of Reeves Industries, which is extremely similar to Stark Industries. His friend, and from what I understood, his right-hand man of the business, was shot by a robber in a Quick Trip, and he was murdered. As a result, he died. So he was murdered by a robber of a Quick Trip, and for some reason, the 13th District of the Chicago Police has had budget cuts. So not a surprise, it's made that 13th District of the Chicago Police highly ineffective. And Gideon, as a solution, he is going to give the 13th District of the Chicago Police a large amount of free money, but it has the price of he would be taking over the 13th District of Chicago, 13th District of the Chicago Police, which he's able to do, and his motives for why he wants to find the murderer that murdered his friend. So a undeniable logical motive that makes him a sympathetic and likable character. Also, he wants to improve the 13th District of the Chicago Police. As he brought up, this, if I recall right, he said this department has an engineering problem, and I'm an engineer. He has a presentation about his taser gun, and he is holding a outstanding taser gun that he created, and for some reason, a officer, I believe his name is Fred, he says something utterly dumb, or the bad guy is going to get toy guns too. There's nothing logical or reasonable to say or believe that the taser gun that he created is a toy. Gideon laughs and says it's not a toy. As you know, pretty sure just about anybody knows actions speak louder than the words, and he backs up those words. There is a person that he paid for the demonstration that attempts to attack him with a knife, that he asked to attempt to attack him to demonstrate the gun. So the person gets up with the knife that he paid, attempts to attack him with the knife, but Gideon points the gun at the person, shoots the taser gun, and instantly temporarily paralyzes that person, And also, to another person he paid to demonstrate it has long range. The person got up, he shoots the person with that taser gun, and that also, again, instantly temporarily paralyzes that person. So undeniably, that is a Nobel Prize worthy creation, and undeniably possibly one of the best non-lethal most effective and greatest non-lethal weapons. And then he has these other amazing inventions that undeniably amazing. You got cars that, for the Chicago Police, that are bulletproof to a certain extent. You'll have to watch the episode to know what the limit. Watch the pilot episode to know what the limit is, which is great because if it's bulletproof, no matter any kind of guns, then there is going to be no excitement. No, oh my gosh, they're going to die, because don't have to worry about dying if they're in bulletproof cars, no matter what kind of guns are shooting at them. So it's great. That is great. Another thing, also, these jackets that give them low-level armor. So they'll still be wearing bulletproof vests, but also jackets they can wear over that also give them low-level armor. And the APB apps, these APB apps give them real-time crime reports. So they're making it very highly likely that they can get to make it very highly likely that they can get to the location as that crime is happening. So there's that, and he also has a flying drone which he can control. This flying drone, you can also see it using a computer, and there's multiple cameras on the cars along with the drone. So before the primary problem of this episode, and there's also Officer Murphy, who is a woman. So both Officer Murphy and Gideon do detective work, and they find out where exactly the murderer that slash robber that robbed the Quick Trip is going to rob next, and they're able to find that murderer that murdered Gideon's friend and two other bad guys that, from what I can see, in an apartment, it looks like maybe they've become kidnappers, or maybe they're deciding to rob these persons. But there is the flying drone that is outside and sees these bad guys, and the bad guys panic, and the bad guy decides to start trying to shoot the drone with the intention for the purpose to destroy it. He fails. He shoots the windows, and the bad guy fails multiple times because Gideon is able to move the drone out of the way before the flying drone can get shot. Bad guys panic, and all of them start trying to escape. There is a bad guy goes in the car, and there's a Chicago police car that is driving and parks behind that car, behind the bad guy's car, so the bad guy can't reverse and escape. The bad guy surrenders. He has his arms in the air. He still has a loaded gun, and the Chicago cop tells him to drop the gun. Understandably, the surrendered bad guy doesn't drop the gun because I don't doubt at all that it's dangerous. So he doesn't drop the gun, and in anger, the cop decides to slam the car door, which slams into the arm of the surrendered bad guy. The gun is dropped before arresting him, which undeniably was utterly avoidable, utterly unnecessary. The bad guy is surrendered. It's a surrendered bad guy. It's utterly unnecessary, and I don't doubt at all that's illegal. So if there's a high possibility that cop gets sued for that injury, which was completely avoidable. And if he does, I'm not going to feel at all sorry for him, because clearly that was illegal, and that wasn't just completely unnecessary, that was illegal. I don't doubt at all that was illegal. To surrender bad guy wasn't resisting arrest at all. He surrendered. He didn't drop his gun for a logical reason, but still, the cop decides to respond in anger, slam the car door, which very possibly injured the surrendered bad guy's arm before arresting him. So again, if he does get sued, it'll be just, it'll be fair, it'll be right. I won't at all feel sorry for the cop that clearly used an illegal action that was completely avoidable, not excusable at all, completely inexcusable. But then getting back, there is the murderer that he goes into trying to escape. He goes into a building, I think, where a party is happening. So there's a bunch of bystanders, and the Chicago cop is able to shoot smoke grenades into that building. As a result, you got bystanders exiting the building, and the murderer also exiting the building, except since there's a lot of bystanders around, it gives him the opportunity to grab a female hostage, which he does. And there's Officer Murphy that is pointing her taser gun at him, but she then sees the situation of he has a hostage, and he does I believe he does communicate that if she tries to shoot him, that he will shoot this hostage. So she agrees to allow him. She agrees she won't chase him, won't try to catch him, and won't try to shoot him. He can escape. She's letting him go. So she no longer has her. She doesn't. She lowers her gun, no longer pointed it at him. Her gun is pointed at him, then she brings it down. No longer is her taser gun pointed at the murderer. But then she realized that she has the advantage because she has a taser gun, a non-lethal weapon. So she does change her mind. She does shoot the bystander with the taser gun, which again, it instantly temporarily paralyzes that bystander. And then again, she shoots again, this time shooting the murderer, which temporarily paralyzes that person, temporarily paralyzes the murderer, is able to arrest him. So the problem that, one of the problem, so Gideon is able to solve the, so the problem is solved of Gideon wanting to find, so it's been accomplished, or the problem has been solved that Gideon wants to find the murderer that murdered his friend. He wants him arrested. Well, that's been accomplished here in this first episode. And he does promote Officer Murphy to detective. But then there is a new problem, and that new problem is more than 36 Chicago citizens have uploaded APB apps. It showed on a blackboard kind of screen of the Chicago map, a map of Chicago, and it has logos of the APB app, and there's like so many APB apps on the Chicago map that I don't think I can see that much of the map anymore. I can just see a bunch of APB apps on the Chicago map. So he only has control of one. He has a small crew of the 13th District of Chicago, and he has more than 36 Chicago citizens that have APB apps. So how exactly is he going to serve and protect more than 36 Chicago citizens that have APB apps with such a small crew, one Chicago police district? Now, logically, obviously, if he can get, I wouldn't doubt at all that he's going to try to get control of more of the Chicago police districts. Obviously, that'd be the logical, easy solution, but I don't doubt at all that I wouldn't be surprised if he's not able to make that happen. So instead, he's going to have to create a brilliant solution of how with his small crew is he going to be able to serve and protect more than 36 Chicago citizens that have an APB app. So I am looking forward to how exactly is he going to solve that problem, along with more episodes of this Not a Dime a Dozen crime drama, which is a science fiction crime drama TV show which airs on Mondays on Fox and is set in Chicago.